In the girls' semifinals at the Brashear tournament, the Brashear Lady Tigers faced off against Marion County. Marion County jumped out to a quick 21-5 lead after one quarter and extended the lead to 37-11 at halftime and 59-23 after three quarters. Brashear outscored Marion County 19-3 in the last quarter, but it wasn't enough as Class 1 5th-ranked Marion County got the win 62-42. For Brashear, Abby McKim had 19 points, Macy Rogers had 14, Stephanie Elsie added 4, Shelby Rogers had 3, and Sydney Slavin chipped in 2 points. The boys' semifinal pitted the Brashear Tigers against the Novinger Wildcats. Brashear outscored Novinger 23-5 in the first quarter and went into halftime leading 54-22. Brashear once again outscored Novinger in the third, extending the lead 77-38. Novinger outscored Brashear 9-5 in the last quarter, but Brashear went on to win by a score of 82-47. For Brashear, Trey Treasure had 23 points, Matt Thomas, Kylie Watson, and Anthony Ambrosia had 12 each, Justin Hazen had 10 points, Ryan Furtick had 5, Jay Scudder scored 4 points, and Zach Reeves and Michael McKim had 2 points each.
On the final night of the Brashear tournament, the action started with the girls' third-place game. North Shelby took a 13-11 lead over Brashear after the first quarter of play and led 31-21 at halftime. The Lady Raiders widened their lead to 43-32 in the third quarter before Brashear mounted a comeback in the fourth. Brashear outscored North Shelby 26-16 in the fourth quarter and held a lead for much of the late action, but with Brashear holding a 3-point lead and the clock under 10 seconds, North Shelby drove to the basket for a layup and a foul. With the basket making a 1-point game and the free throw missed, Brashear was unable to control the rebound. North Shelby scored the winning bucket on the inbounds play. The final score was North Shelby 59 and Brashear 58. For Brashear, Macy Rogers and Emily Ladwig were both in double figures with 20 and 12 points. Abby McKim had 9, Caroline Slavin scored 8, Shelby Rogers had 4, Sydney Slavin had 3, and Stephanie Elsie scored 2 points. The boys' championship game was a much-anticipated matchup between Knox County Eagles and Brashear Tigers. The Eagles got off to a quick start and led Brashear 15-13 after the first quarter and 28-23 at halftime. Brashear outscored Knox County 17-9 in the third quarter to grab a 40-37 lead, and again outscored Knox County 17-14 in the fourth to win the championship 57-51. For Brashear, Kylie Watson scored 16 points, Matt Thomas added 11, Trey Treasure had 10, Ryan Furtick scored 9, Justin Hazen had 7, and Anthony Ambrosia scored 4 points.
Saturday night's win over Knox County marked the first time since 2002-2003 that the Brashear boys have won the Brashear tournament. Coach Wilburn had pledged to have his head shaved by the team if they won the championship, so a large crowd gathered after the game to watch the Clippers come out and to see Coach Wilburn's new hairstyle.
Brashear picked up a pair of wins over Milan on Monday. The girls' game was close all the way through, with the first quarter tied 14-14 and ending the first half with Milan up 38-33. The Lady Tigers came back and outscored the Wildcats 34-21 in the second half, ending the game with the score of 67-59. For Brashear, Macy Rogers had 15 points, Stephanie Elsie and Emily Ladwig had 12 points each, Abby McKim and Caroline Slavin had 10 each, Shelby Rogers had 6, and Sydney Slavin had 2 points. In the boys' game, Milan jumped on top early with a 12-11 lead after one quarter, but Brashear came back to take a 31-19 lead at the half. Milan pulled back in the game in the third and only trailed 37-36 after three quarters. The fourth quarter was back and forth, with Brashear holding a slim 3-point lead with less than a minute left, but Milan tied the game with a 3-pointer to send the game into overtime. Brashear was never threatened in overtime as they rolled to a 61-55 win. For Brashear, Trey Treasure had 20 points, Ryan Furtick had 13, Justin Hazen scored 12, Matt Thomas had 10, Kylie Watson scored 4, and Anthony Ambrosia had 2 points.
On Tuesday, February 17th, Brashear faced Buckland. Buckland girls took an early lead of 11-8 after the first quarter, but Brashear stayed within 1 at 22-21 at halftime. Buckland pushed her lead to 36-32 after 3 quarters of play, and despite runs by Brashear, Buckland held on for the 52-45 win. For Brashear, Macy Rogers scored 19 points, Shelby Rogers had 8, Stephanie Elsie and Sydney Slavin had 5 points each, and Abby McKim and Caroline Slavin scored 4 points each. In the boys' game, Brashear jumped out to a quick 30-4 lead after one quarter. Brashear led 48-11 at halftime, 69-25 after 3 quarters, and won by a score of 73-29. Anthony Ambrosio scored 14 points, Justin Hayes and Ryan Freddy had 9 points each, Trey Treasure had 8, Matt Thomas and Hayden Coyne scored 7 points each, Kylie Watson and Jay Scudder had 6 each, Cody Snelly had 5, and Adam Songer scored 2 points.